Welcome back to some new Malicious Compliance stories, where people complied to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Make the Work Harder. I work in insurance billing for a few big medical facilities in my area. One of my daily tasks is to save and download remits from a program. I've been at this company for a little over 3 years now. I know how to do my job, and I do it pretty well. There's this woman. We shall call her Jane. She's always trying to make things hard for me or get me fired. There's a set of 4 cubicles where I, another employee, and Jane sit. And there's a printer in the other cubicle. She's lied to higher ups about me sleeping at my desk, wasting time, playing on my phone, and just overall anything she could come up with to make me look bad. She yelled at me for turning the lights off on her, which I really didn't know she was in the office, because she always wants out first at go time. I apologized to her, and she just kept trying to go off and brought it into the parking lot. I just ignored her and kept walking, but that turned into a meeting with the office manager, my direct supervisor, Jane, the other employee, and myself. Long story short, I basically told her I didn't understand where all the animosity was coming from. I had been working here for 2.5 years at this point. She looked at me and said that I got her in trouble my second week of ever being there, because she told me something about her job I had no idea about. And I asked my direct supervisor who was training me after she told me how to do something, and come to find out that's why she doesn't like me. I didn't go out of my way to get her in trouble or anything. I just was confused, so I asked a question. I did apologize to her in the meeting, but she just ignored me. Fast forward a week, and I'm sitting at my desk, and she comes up to me to say that she accepted my apology. Then she starts printing out Bible verses and scriptures to put on her corkboard about forgiveness and how it's not for the other person, it's for yourself. She's literally the meanest person that works here, but she's got the holier than thou mentality that makes her think she's the best thing since sliced bread. So, I save and download remits for a few different clients every morning. Mondays are my busiest days for this, because I have to pull them from different sites in a program that sends them to us electronically. Jane does billing for one of the same clients I pull remits for. She needs the remits to make deposits and whatnot. It usually takes me anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 hours to complete this for all the clients, because of what would come through Friday and the weekend. She needs them first thing in the morning. Apparently, Jane has complained that I keep messing them up when I save and download them. I know I'm not. I triple check myself. I received an email last week stating that Jane was complaining again, so I decided Monday would be the day that I did things a bit differently. I came in, and instead of doing Jane's client first, I did the other 4. Then I took my time with Jane's, because I had to make sure every letter and number was 1000% correct, because she needs them to be. I didn't want her to be upset. She was waiting for all the remits for a deposit, so instead of the deposit getting done at 8:30, it just didn't get done until the next day. I've been doing hers last, since Monday, and I didn't know if anything will be said about me taking longer. But I have to do as I'm told and make sure it's correct, right? The next story is called 2 Weeks in Hell. I have been working at a super small construction company for the past 2 years. I've put my best foot forward every day and never had any issues with anyone in the company. As of 3 months ago, they moved me from an infield coordinator to an accounting position. It was an emergency move, as one of the employees stole 80k from the company, and they needed an immediate replacement. My new supervisor, we'll call her Mary, was always super kind to me. We've become pretty good in work friends. These past couple of months have been hell. I hate the new position, and to be fair, I'm not very good at it. So I found a new position, and I've been keeping it a secret for a while. I let the owner know first, and he was very kind and receptive to it. The issue started when Mary got word of it. She immediately cornered me and started going on this rant, saying things like, "Why didn't you tell me? You are being incredibly unfair and selfish. I can't believe you would do this to us. This is unacceptable. Don't ask me for a referral, because you are not getting one from me. I politely told her that the opportunity was something I simply couldn't pass up. She then went to the owner and asked for any details I might have given to him about the new company and new position. I believe to try to sabotage my leaving. Thankfully, I hadn't discussed any details about it with anyone. It was awkward after that, but I didn't think anything of it. The next day was when things took a turn for the worst. Mary decided to be petty. She removed all of my authorizations to any accounts I had, so I couldn't perform any of my daily tasks. I didn't want to leave on a sour note, so I brought it up to the owner. As Mary was out of office that day, he reauthorized my accounts and I continued to work. Mary was back the following day and was completely livid that I had went around her and talked directly to the owner. Her actions towards me would only get worse from here on out. The next day, I came in to notice that my desk was moved and my computer access was taken away yet again. Since I couldn't do any of my daily tasks and really didn't feel like dealing with a screaming Mary, I was on my phone for basically the whole day. At the end of the day, Mary came into my new back storage office. She said, "Busy day today?" I know mine was. I just smiled and said, "Yep, exhausting." She did not like that response. She went to the owner to say that I was purposefully not doing my job, that my last 2 weeks would be pointless, so we should just let me go now. The owner disagreed, called me into his office, and after I explained what she had done, he gave me access again and told Mary to work from home. Another day goes by. It's extremely peaceful now that Mary is working remotely, but unfortunately, this does not mean my day was getting any easier. Instead of taking my access away, she had IT start forwarding all my emails to other employees in other departments that had nothing to do with my specific position. At this point, I only had 3 days left, and so I just took it as, okay, this is bad for them, but it's on Mary's head if anyone has any questions. I looked at my PTO and I had way more than I had thought, so why not use those for my last days? And that's exactly what I did. I was originally supposed to let all vendors know and start forwarding them to the appropriate people and also interview second round candidates for my position, but not anymore. The owner was completely okay with it. He understood that Mary was being toxic and said that he would have a talk with her about her attitude and position if this continues. Now with my last 2 days and me being on PTO, I finally thought I was safe from Mary, but lo and behold, she was still holding a massive grudge, as if my leaving my position was a personal attack on her. She called me at 4:30 in the morning and left me a voicemail saying our company was having an account emergency and that I need to come in immediately. I called her back about 4 hours later, which she was fuming about, and went on a massive rant about how I am extremely entitled. I will never get anywhere with my attitude. She's embarrassed for our company to say that I ever worked here. That if she ever finds out where I will be working, she will make sure that I am fired, and that I will never get a job in this town again. I laughed at her, and she went ballistic. I hung up on her once she started bringing my family into things. I called the owner and explained to him what had happened. He wasn't shocked about it and told me that when she came in that morning, she went on a rampage like the devil. After finding out why she was freaking out, he promptly fired her. I was shocked. This was such a small company and he definitely needed her. I had heard from another coworker that she ended up destroying a bunch of company property on her way out, and now she's facing a lawsuit due to the damages. The last story is called Ship Today. When I was attacked at a calibration lab, we had a torque wrench arrive for calibration. Now, to do the job right, you must let the wrench sit in the lab until it has reached the same temperature as the lab and the calibration standards. It was winter, and the wrench was cold from the delivery, so this wrench was put on the shelf to acclimate, which would take 24 to 48 hours. That afternoon, one of the salespeople told the torque tech that this wrench must ship today, because it was a big customer and he wanted to make a good impression. The tech obviously said that it couldn't, because it had to acclimate before being calibrated. The salesperson was one that thought that no one could or would ever stand in his way. He was also not supposed to be in the lab or in any way involved in production. So the tech again explained that the wrench could not be calibrated until at least the next day. Otherwise, the calibration would not be a good one. And we don't do it like that. That's when the salesperson exploded. Repeated several times that it must ship today. After the 10-minute tirade had ended, the tech just told him it will ship today. So the salesperson huffed back to the sales department, gratified that he'd got his way again. As soon as he was gone, the tech processed the order as a return as is and put it on the shipping cart. The wrench did indeed ship that day, without a calibration certificate. The customer was miffed. A subsequent investigation did not show the salesperson in a good light. He was officially reprimanded. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.